Hello. I am checking in with the other half of Chapter 3, Chapter 4, and Chapter 5 of Bttr Hny Pg Brd by Francesca E. Esowaska. Fuck. I will really need to actually listen. There's plenty of people saying her name, and I will learn it. 2020 novel centering around a mother and her two twin daughters. In this section, we find out what the bad thing was. And the bad thing is that the father died and the mother kind of spiraled into her own inner world. And an aunt comes over with a Uncle Ernie, I believe, and Uncle Ernie assaults, rapes Ty, and Kay is underneath the bed, and assaults. They're screaming. Other woman of the family comes in, gets the girls, locks the thing, tells the aunt, look, get him the hell out of here. If he's still here, if he's here and ever comes back, I'm calling the police immediately. And it ruptures the relationship between the two siblings. And it sort of, and Tai says, it's not her, it's Kai, who won't really particularly be with her anymore, won't help her. They get transferred to a school where they get to be separate, and sort of likes being separate. That doesn't have to justify herself as a twin. Kay doesn't have to justify herself as a twin, but she's also not there to particularly support her sister, who is really shy, and that gets mistaken for being snobby. And Tay is also a lesbian, and the other girls, of course, you can smell sort of stuff like differences like that, and gets bullied for that. And there's that split, and as we're kind of bouncing back and forth between past and present, we have Kai reading the letters that Tai sent her. Well, didn't send her, that she wrote to her and then have been sent to her as a one big dollop, and her own kind of why won't you answer my calls, sort of stuff like that. Going to London, staying with another aunt who's basically hates girls, only loves men, because of her own past history and stuff like that. We get Tai going to France for culinary school, and actually kind of forming a bond with this guy Bobby. And Bobby kind of comes on to her, but she says, look, I'm gay. And he actually takes it well, and they even have, like, at the end of that evening, they kind of just have a platonically just sleeping in the same bed together, where she's like, oh, I haven't had that kind of a friendship before. She also has a romantic, she has a bit of a fling with the female partner of the kind of the culinary school at the very, very end. And it's her first thing with a woman. And, she's like, you're very sincere. It's like, oh God, sincere. But she says, no, you listen, you ask, you're shy, you don't talk much, but in bed, you listen and you ask. And it was like very good. And in the end, she says, well, she gets up to kind of go. Is like, would you kind of lay with me for a bit? It's like, okay, yeah. And hums. It's like, what tune is that? Because she keeps on hearing that tune. And she says, I don't know, just something I heard. It's like a twin, but that apparently falls into she's like, she dips off a cliff, and then she starts looking for that kind of connection, I guess probably through sexual partners, which can be its own sort of thing of like feeding a hungry ghost, even if it's very pleasurable and nice in the time, but maybe not, doesn't fit what she needs. What does she need? Mother, sister, father, that kind of hole is pretty tough, and you're not going to find it through sex, I guess. But yeah, so that I can't remember. We've also gotten kombucha. The mother and her stuff we're getting. I'm not getting as much about that. I think the stuff that I got with her was how she at school was like, very much kind of like she could just absence herself, and like, if things are okay, she just absence herself and she just kind of motors through. She's a very average student, except for art, which she really throws herself into. And has like a style and stuff like that. You get kind of a real sense of her through that, but maybe not elsewise. And until she dreams of the partner, but she dreams of him in his spirit form to begin with, not who he actually is. It's very much kind of operating on a different plane of existence from everyone else. You wonder what that comes from, or if it does come from anything. Maybe the trauma was with Tai and Kei. So we shall see. But yeah. So continuing along, the kind of the bouncing back and forth is fine. I think it gives you kind of a more rich, kind of chunky, thick feel of this family. That it wouldn't have if it was just told in a linear way. It's, very smoothly told that way. All right, I will leave it there. More videos later.